So I hesitated doing this video, and then I thought, nobody's going to watch your crap anyway. You might as well speak your mind. And I think that's the ultimate freeing thing to having a lesser channel and things like that, is that I can completely speak my mind and talk about things that really matter to me, or things that really kind of I take issue with. And this one, I think above all else, kind of speaks to me. So if you guys didn't know about this, Tripwire has now appointed a new interim CEO following backlash against John Gibson's views on abortion. He's pro-life, right? Pro-life. I am not understanding how you can come out and say, hey, I'm pro-life, and have that be a situation where you can be forced to leave your job or lose your job, right? This is what John Gibson said. On Saturday, Tripwire Interactive president John Gibson sent out a tweet to support of the new Texas law that bans abortion for babies with a heartbeat. He said, proud of the U.S. Supreme Court affirming the Texas law banning abortion for babies with a heartbeat. As an entertainer, I don't get political often, yet with so many vocal peers on the other side of this issue, I felt it was important to go on the record as a pro-life game developer. So, had he said, oh, I'm so against this move that they made, you know, it should be pro-choice and blah, 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 nobody would have batted an eyelash. But because he's in favor of saving unborn babies with a heartbeat, he's suddenly the most evil, vile thing ever created. And this is a growing trend that I've noticed that just kind of galls at me. And you think, well, is people gonna really just, are they gonna like go into the darkness? And like, I know people go, well, you shouldn't talk about religion, you shouldn't talk about politics, you shouldn't. Really though, we should be taught to be okay with talking about this stuff, and we should be taught from an early age from our parents that it's okay to talk about, and it's okay for somebody to have a different point of view, and that doesn't make them evil, right? Like, if I say I'm pro-life, that doesn't mean that I all of a sudden hate somebody that's pro-choice, right? Like, we can still be friends, we can still talk about games, we can still, it doesn't matter, right? Like, the funny thing to me is within all of this is, it seems to me, and I've noticed this growing trend over the last few years, especially over social media, how is it that an ex-president like Donald Trump is banned from all these social media accounts, but the Taliban isn't banned from social media accounts? Can anybody figure that out? Give me some kind of information on how it is. I don't understand it. So the statement actually that he made garnered a significant backlash throughout the gaming industry, including development partners such as Shipwright Studios, which helped with the development of Maneater, and Torn Banner Studios, the team behind the Chivalry franchise. The studio even went as far as announcing the immediate termination of all existing contracts with Tripwire. So again, had he said the opposite thing, nobody would have said anything. Torn Banner Studio said, we do not share the opinion expressed in a recent tweet by the president of Tripwire, publisher of Chivalry 2. This perspective is not shared by our team, nor is it reflective in the games we create. The statement stands in opposition to what we believe about women's rights. Now, listen to this. We could get into this whole thing, and I'll defend it all day long. Very few abortions have anything to do with incest or rape, and those that do, I think, should be special circumstances. But regardless, I just feel like somebody speaking their mind is not a reason to be forced or to be hated upon. Not only have I noticed that, but I've also noticed leading up into the last presidential election, if you were to come out and say that you were Republican, you get called the worst names that I've ever heard in my life. You're a Nazi. You're a racist right away. You're everything wrong with the world. You obviously want everybody to fail and this. If you're a person who supports capitalism, hey, capitalism's great, right? Okay. It allows anybody, especially in America, with an idea, a chance to be successful. Okay. And capitalism is a magnificent thing. Okay. You should keep what you earn, what you make, and nobody else should get a piece of that for what you're putting in. Why should someone at home sitting on their ass take part of your money that you earn for you going out there and busting your butt? I'll never understand people that oppose capitalism. There's go check any other place that doesn't do capitalism, and you'll see how badly it fails. And again, this isn't something new. right? So anyway, a few hours ago, Tripwire's official Twitter account shared a statement to inform of the change in leadership, with John Gibson stepping down and Alan Wilson, a company co-founder and current vice president, taking over. And they said the comments given by John Gibson of his own opinion do not reflect those of Tripwire Interactive as a company. His comments disregard the values of our whole team, our partners, and much of our broader community. Our leadership team at Tripwire are deeply sorry and are unified in our commitment to take swift action to foster a more positive environment. So, it's not a positive environment to want babies to live? Are we past the day and age of, of a situation where people can take responsibility for themselves? Look, my job is dog training. My job is animal rescue. If somebody adopts a dog or a cat or any kind of animal, that's a lifelong partnership there, right? That's not a thing that you get for Christmas and then get rid of it. It's a living thing. If you are responsible enough and you have decided to have sexual relations with someone, then you have to be prepared for the consequences. Me, 39 years old, I have had, sexual relations. I've been married twice. I've procreated. I've had sexual relations to procreate. And when I have. And if I didn't want to, I took precautions. It's not hard to do that. Okay? It's not. It's taking responsibility for yourself. Again, they say effective immediately, John Gibson has stepped down as the CEO of Tripwire Interactive. Co-founding member and current vice president Alan Wilson will take over as interim CEO. Alan has been with the company since its formation in 2005 and is an active lead on both the studio's business and developers affairs. Alan will work the rest of Tripwire leadership team to take steps with employees and partners to address their concerns, including executing a company-wide town hall meeting and promoting open dialogue with the Tripwire leadership and all employees. His understanding of both the company culture and creative vision of games will carry the team through this transition with full support of other Tripwire leaders. So basically, you can have an opinion as long as it's not a right-leaning opinion. You can't be Republican. I've already expressed my thoughts and opinions on, again, I know it's silly or whatever, but the new He-Man show from Kevin Smith, which basically they took He-Man out of it, made the female characters the lead, and really kind of just misled people in general. I think that's the thing that really kind of pissed a lot of people off, was he lied about it repeatedly. Again, it's getting to the point where you can't do anything without offending people. Now, here's the thing. I'm friends with people who are Republicans. I'm friends with people who are Democrats. I'm friends with people who are independent. I'm friends with people who don't give a crap either way. With that being said, why is it that it's always the left side that claims that they're the most understanding, the most, they're the ones that accept the most and all this kind of stuff, but those are always the ones that are out there screaming and trying to cancel people for an opinion that is different than theirs. Like, you can have a different opinion than me, and that's fine. I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to scream. You have a right to your opinion. You can still make games. Again, this is just something that I've started to notice over the years. Like, people are so quick to give in on this stuff. It's like, to me anyway, right? Like, even being a Christian is looked at as being a bad thing nowadays. Like, what in the world are we doing where wanting babies to live, being a Christian, being proud to be an American, first of all, being proud to be a man, and thinking that, that everybody is equal in general, and so that there doesn't need to be this kind of discourse the way that there has been presented, this discourse, right? It's so interesting the way that people kind of go about these things, and the outrage society and the outrage culture. Like, why is it okay to out there, listen, Gina Carano, right? You guys might know the name, maybe you don't. She was in The Mandalorian, got fired because she made a comment about, comparing Nazism to how it is being a Republican, right? Basically saying that, people rat on you and try to round you up or whatever. But it's kind of like, like social media can almost be like that. And I can understand that. I'm not agreeing with her 100%, but I don't think she should have lost her job over that. Now, if you look at Pedro Pascal, he made a similar comment a year prior when comparing Republicans and Trump with, like, the whole kids in cages things, which, by the way, the cages were built by Obama. And there's still kids in cages to this day, right, under a totally different regime. You can, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so interesting that for months and months, everybody was so pro-Biden, and now nobody says anything about Biden. The people that cussed out Trump on a daily basis have nothing to say about Biden, who has completely screwed all of us over. I mean, just off the top of my head, look at the situation with Afghanistan, how we pulled out of there. He promised no lives, no people left behind, left animals behind, left military behind, left billions of dollars worth of equipment behind. I mean, the guy's a joke. What are we paying? $1.50 more a gallon per gas already? You know, claimed he had a plan for COVID, and we've got the worst outbreak. It's worse now, infection rate, than it ever has been. So, you know, where are the people that were cussing out Trump for years, talking about, like, all of a sudden, you know, nobody says a word. Again, it's just so interesting to me how it's so one-sided, and it's kind of sickening that you can't have an opinion that's opposite than that. Well, guess what? I have an opinion that's opposite of that. Who cares? Because nobody's going to watch anyway, but I'm putting it out there because I'm sick and tired of this crap. Honestly, it just doesn't make any sense. With that being said, you guys can do what you want to do. I don't expect likes on the video or even views, but that's just my thoughts and feelings on this situation. Thanks for watching. Peace.